Welcome back, Planet Coaster Adventurers, and here's a quick overview. So we did this area last time, which is sort of our haunted area, and then what we've done here, actually, we have split this land. So what you saw there at the beginning of the episode is a slightly split land. Now what you see now on the right hand side, so the other side of the water, is newly created area. At the moment, we're not going to build on that area. That area is going to be, it's fairly small, probably about the similar size as our haunted island. It's likely to be an expansion area going forward. However, this rather large area here leading up to this bridge will be a village. And that's what we're going for. And this will have a slightly larger scale roller coaster in, as well as a carousel, which we'll see go in this episode. And you know, this is a bit of a bumper episode for building. You're going to see a lot of building here, and we are going to put a lot of buildings around this area. This is going to be a really enclosed village. As you walk along this path, on the left hand side you're going to have this enclosed village. It will spill over onto the right hand side. It will include the monorail, and I think just looking at it and where I'm going to put the entrance to this, I believe the monorail will have to move in this area very slightly, a little bit deeper into the area in order to come out via the entrance. But we are going to put as much detail as we possibly can into this area, and yeah, it's going to be a host of different style types of buildings. It's very much the plan. We're going to use the thatch roof, we're going to use sort of the normal house roofs, we're going to use you know, the brick which we got here, as well as the you know, beam walls which we've already put in. And it's going to be quite big. I'm telling you now, it's going to be quite big. So this is the exterior. So this is sort of the fascia. This fascia you will see as you walk up to the area. You won't see anything inside so much. You'll know there's a roller coaster in there. It's not going to be massive. It's not going to be that tall. It's going to be quite low level down this end, but you will see there is a roller coaster in there. And of course, as you then walk along and you enter the area, you will then start to see things with the carousel being kind of this central point into the little village area. We'll have some food in there, we'll put some shops in there, obviously some seating as well. Thatch roofs again, when I say about roofs in this game, it might be me, but the thatch roofs again are another ones which I absolutely hate using. I really hate using them. But this particular wall is lovely. So the wall we're using here, is really popular throughout the builds because it's quite subtle. It can be recolored. You can put you know, the wood onto it, which we've done before, and it just fits in really nicely. And of course we want some different color houses. So although this is going to be one massive build in terms of one set piece, we do want some variety in here as well. So we're going to get these built now, and it is quite a long building session. This, I'm not going to lie to you, it's quite a long building session which we're going to go through before we put the carousel in. But you're going to see this village come together, and then of course the village will be home to a roller coaster, which we will see in the next episode. But let us know what you think of these buildings. It's the first time probably we've gone really in depth with so many buildings, and it is really going to be enclosed. We're going to put quite a lot in here, and we're going to really make it fit well. And yeah, we're going to have the roller coaster then going in and out of the village as it comes round. So we're going to leave you with some Planet Coaster music for the moment whilst the build continues, and we'll check back in every few minutes. are back, and what you are seeing here is kind of the distance which I want to leave between them. So as you've seen us build there, you'll see the left buildings and the right buildings kind of in this little village area, and you'll see how much space we got to play with. You'll also see how many buildings we're actually looking to get in here, because we're going to have another row of buildings going across the middle. Now you'll enter this down the right hand side of the screen, what you'll see now, and this area will actually be blocked off. This will be where the roller coaster kind of sits, so visually it's going to be from the roller coaster, but as you can see there, it's a big space. Now we haven't built the back end of the buildings on the front yet, and the reason we haven't done that is we want to make sure that the coaster can weave in and out. So we're just going to hold fire on those. And as I said, we do want to build in right going through at the middle here as well. And this little fence, believe it or not, this is what you will see from the kind of courtyard area where the carousel is going to be. You're going to be able to see down, you're going to be able to see the coaster drop here, and the coaster will then weave in and out of the buildings. So we're going to straighten that out. I don't know why it hasn't built very straight, to be honest. And this is where the buildings start here. So you can see as it all starts to come together, kind of what room the coaster will have as it goes round on the right hand side and the left hand side. It's going to drop on the right hand side, go through the village, do a U-turn, come back through the left hand side, and then back through this building which we're building now and to the station area. And the station area will be right over the back of this sort of mini island. It's not going to be a hugely length roller coaster, but it's going to feel like it's quite big as it flies sort of through the, the courtyard area and over the carousel. We're going to go for a suspended one on this one. We're going to go for a, classic Aero suspended coaster to go through here, so it can swing in and out of the village as it goes through. Low level, it will start off quite high. It will go around the top ends of the buildings, around the carousel, and then drop to the right hand side of this building and pretty much complete the course. On the turnaround point, we will put a block brake so we can run multiple trains. It's not going to be hugely fast. It's more sort of, although it's a large scale coaster, it is going to be a family coaster at that. And in this area, which we see putting in now, this is your entrance alleyway, just coming in there. So this will be nicely built up. We'll put obviously a little block over it as well. We'll have a little welcome into that area, some roofs and things, and some signs. And that'll all come through there. As you can see, the shops we've put in on the back building, and of course we will probably put some eating outlets, some benches and things around the carousel. So the carousel you will see going very, very shortly will be going into this area here. Basically, right smack bang in the middle. We're going to go for a blue and white rather than red and white. I think it sort of fits the area a little bit better. Flatten out the land, but there's a lot of building left to do in this cap. A lot of building left to do. Now then, one thing we are going to do, we are going to copy some of the designs. Might call it a cheat, but we're going to copy some of the designs because they look, they look and feel quite nice. And we've still got to build backs to these. Bear in mind, these are just fascias at the moment. And then we can alter them and change them slightly. And as we've seen there, we've made it extend outwards. So it just kind of lowers the gap a bit. And it's going to make it really look like you're flying through the village and you're swinging around underneath the towers. And it's going to look, we're really hoping it looks good at the end of it, as long as we get it lined up right. There we go. Just move this over very slightly. Where you can build these in quarter bricks, the way we've done, sometimes they don't line up quite right. Sometimes they don't. We're going to have a big tower building at the end as well. But yeah, when you consider this isn't a walk-in area which they're coming through here, this is very much all scenery for the coaster. Pot plants, vines, trees, anything like that. We're going to have a nice little fountain as well down the other side. They're going to be absolutely key in visual aids once you're on the coaster and you're swinging through. Now we have got a little bit more speed building left to do, so we'll leave you again with the Planet Coaster music for a couple of minutes as we finish off this area and look forward to what else we have to do. gone for a very, very different look. We've kind of gone for a curvature front. It's a totally different color. And you can see now the path in which the coaster will take going through this village, and it will swing from side to side. We have obviously got to get the swing right, which will take a little bit of time. And the carousel here will be the centerpiece. So the carousel is just going to go around the middle. And then of course we'll have a massive path coming in. I say massive, we'll make sure it fits in the gap. Make sure it fits in the gap nicely. There we go. And then we're going to block all of this with path. So we are actually going to use the block tool to fill in what we can with path. Also, we're going to have to flatten a few areas because it's not that flat round there, which is, I don't really understand why it's not that flat round there. I'm sure we flattened it out, but there we go. We'll flatten it out, re-put the blocks back in, and then the carousel sort of sits in the middle. So there is a little bit of gap. What we will do then is have some trees around there and some nice shrubbery, and yeah, make it look like it fits right in the middle. And you can see as well the buildings over the back. I mean, this is a huge space that we're having to fill in here. This really is a huge space. I kind of forget when you build buildings, it's not like I get bored building them all the way through because it takes so long to do. And just when you finish one building and think that looks amazing, you can then see how many gaps you've got for the next set of buildings. It's just absolutely insane. It really is insane. The pot plants, big pot plants, I don't really get those. I don't really get where they go, to be honest with you. I really don't. But yeah, we're going to put some fences around this, and we'll put some of the smaller grass items around there. But yeah, we're going to copy the fencing from across, put it all the way around, looking really good. There we go, get it all fitting in nicely. As we said, we want to make sure we do fence all the way around. We've got a little bit more to do. You know, we've still got roofs to put on this. And what you see now behind this building, this is where the coaster will go. So although we're going to put a building on this and we're going to put you know, a front on it, ultimately the roller coaster will go through the front of this building which we're building now and come out of that purple building behind it. But we will kind of gauge that as and when we build the coaster. That will be in the next episode. That will be in the next episode that we get that sort of in place and then see what buildings we can put around. So the buildings we put in are very much us putting builders in and us building the roller coaster around the buildings. Now, as you've seen from hopefully from the previous episodes and indeed from our previous builds, 9 times out of 10 we build the ride and then build around the ride. But on this occasion, we want to get the village done. I really like the look of the village. I really love the look of it. And yeah, sure, there's a lot of detail still to put in now. I'm not even going to pretend there's not. There's a lot of detail still to put in, and it's something we can revisit, tart up. We still don't have backs on some of these. We still don't have fronts out the front. We still don't have roofs. There's still a lot to do just to get the absolute basics done. However, that said, it is coming together quite nicely, and we wanted this time to build the actual buildings first and build the ride around the building. So hopefully it doesn't come back and bite us in the next episode when we build the roller coaster. But yeah, a lot to do here. You know, this is going to be our main fascia as you walk through the village. You know, if you decide you don't want to do it, you can carry on walking to the next area. There's absolutely no pressure to stop. You will need to physically leave the beaten path, if you will, to head into our courtyard to have a little look around. But fingers crossed, people will head into the courtyard. The carousel is going to be our highlight point of the courtyard, and you know, we've got to have some slower rides as well as some thrill rides, and you know, we're not planning on putting anything else in there, and I don't know whether I plan on putting anything on the right hand side either, but certainly past the village point we may consider a water ride to also fit in this area. However, our next area after this is going to be a pirate themed area, which kind of makes more sense to have a water ride in. That's something that we're going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks. So we're not sure yet. We're really not sure yet. We are kind of building as we're going. You know, if there's any particular roller coaster you guys want to see, again, let us know in the comments below. We have read some of the comments. Some of this is filmed slightly before the comments. However, we have picked out some great names, and we will be naming our coasters after some of the great names that have been put in. So thank you for your input. Thank you very much for joining us here on this coaster build of the Islands, our brand new theme park. As you can see, it's taking shape. It is taking shape slowly. We are putting some extra detail in. There's still a lot of work to do in this area. We've still got other areas to visit. We definitely need to move the monorail station. But yeah, what do you think so far? What do you think of the park so far? The next episode is going to feature the roller coaster build, which will really bring this area together, and you'll kind of see how it all interacts. Thank you for joining us today. We will be back very soon with our next episode. See you soon.